Welcome back to the weekly wraparound. We are here once again. This is episode number 13, following week 13 of the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League. No doubt Phil Taylor is in the house already. That is for sure, for certain. There, Daniel.
Phil's going to be dirty. Wasn't him first, but hi, Danielle. And yeah, Phil. He's got the game respects game. So there you go.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, good work from Danielle King. Got to love it. We are Hockey Hype Australia. You can find us at hockeyhypeaustralia.com.au. We are on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, /X, LinkedIn, YouTube at Hockey Hype AUS. We are live on the YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Please subscribe to the YouTube, like, share, comment, all that sort of stuff. To help us grow, help the sport grow. As we've seen throughout the season, the AW has grown and grown, which is really cool. This is the weekly wraparound. I am Andrew McDougall, joined as always by Gordon Goodenough. GG, you're a bit under the weather, mate. How you been?
I've been absolutely crap. I've been on antibiotics since Thursday, Friday. I can't even remember. Days just meld into one. But I'm here and I am excited. Phil Taylor, it started loose. How much looser can it get? Stay tuned.
Well, we're only seconds in, and Danielle King's popped up the comment, and the laughs have already started. So we're off to a good start tonight. You have battled with sickness, GG. You battled through commentary on the weekend. It was a big weekend of AW hockey, so much on the line. But before we get stuck into it, we're going to whip through today's program because GG's not feeling well. So I don't think it's going to be like an hour and 20 minutes tonight, GG. But we do have some big news as well. We've had some announcement recently with sponsorships and things like that. With the save of the season, assist of the season. We have another sponsor on board for goal of the season, something that's close to GG's heart. And GG can make the announcement. I'll chuck it up on the screen. But good work, GG and the Goodenough family.
Yeah, no, it's the same deal. Katie is my financial backer here. So she is very kindly offered to chip in the same deal, $250 to the winner of the goal of the season, the fan vote. So similar to the other two with the Dora Marja family and the Maya family. So we've got three different fan votes, and you and I were just talking earlier about we'd better start getting clipping, mate, because we've got about 76 hours worth of AWIHL footage to get through. So we've got to do that before next week. So,
well, to help us with that, if people have got favorite saves or goals or assists, chuck them in the comments tonight, and we can have a look at them as well. I was shitting myself in the lead up because I didn't realize
this is that formal one, mate.
I actually didn't realize there was a break in between the final weekend of AW and then the finals. So it's eased me a little bit that we've got a bit of time up our sleeve to get it all happening, but we will get it happening. But good work, GG and the family. Got cleared from the Minister for Finance, Tilly, as well. So that was really good. But it was, GG, a massive weekend of AW hockey with so much on the line for the top three. And this is how the standings have finished up. All teams have played 16 games, GG, up on the screen. We have the Perth Inferno finishing on top with 31 points. Adelaide Rush second on 27. The Melbourne Ice in third on 26. The Brisbane Lightning fourth on 24. And the Sydney Sirens, obviously, they finished a week before in fifth position on 11 points. That means the Perth Inferno will play the Brisbane Lightning in the first matchups of the finals, and Adelaide Rush will play the Melbourne Ice on the Saturday. Big weekend, wasn't it, GG?
Oh, huge. And, you know, we knew that it was going to be the top four playing this weekend for a couple of weeks beforehand. I think since that weekend that the Sirens were away at Boondall. So since that weekend, we knew the top four. But yeah, it was pretty exciting. The final day of the season, 2 points separating first from third. How much more drama or spectacle would you like? There's so many storylines too that we'll get into. This feels entirely self praising of myself, Danielle King, but just acknowledging the comments. So it's kind of Katie, and I really need to give a big shout out to Katie who puts up with me doing all this stuff. Um, my family is starving because I'm doing all this stuff instead of working. But no, she's been amazing, and Tilly as well. She's part of my family as well. So shout out to her too. She doesn't know what's going on. And Christian, not this awards night is going to be a lot. It is indeed. Yeah. And Phil Taylor, lucky it's a fan vote. We know Doogie would be voting for the Defoe rocket from long range. Either Doogie or Todd. I think Todd he mentioned that he thinks the goal of the season was yet to be scored. That was what he said when he came on, didn't he? And was anticipating a Defoe blast. So we've got them out of the way. We're on a roll.
Phil's got a ripper photo too of that goal. Just unreal. So the results from the final weekend were the Adelaide Rush 3, the Perth Inferno 5 on Saturday, the Brisbane Lightning 8, the Melbourne Ice 4, and then on the Sunday, the Adelaide Rush 2, the Perth Inferno 3, and the Brisbane Lightning 5, and the Melbourne Ice 3. So the Inferno and the Lightning sweep the weekends as we head into finals. There was also a bit of movement, GG. Well, there was a bit of we got the scoring leaders at the end of the regular season, but in terms of, and we will get into it when we talk about the Inferno, you see Michelle Clark-Crumpton on top with 38 points ending the regular season, but Scala just raced up to Sarah Edney to finish the season, and I think they both finished on 22 and 22 goals for the season, and Biz was close to getting 23 on a few occasions.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was quite exciting. So a couple of the Sarah Edney, who only played 14 games, she drops out of that top 5 in scoring. There was someone else. Who else was in the top 5 that's dropped out? But yeah, Scala comes in. And Salmons, Salmons is right up there in second place now. So yeah, good on her.
Yeah, so 3 of the top 5 in the points from the Perth Inferno as we end the regular season. So it just goes to show you the firepower that the Inferno have got up their sleeve when they're all going and firing. Speaking of the Inferno, GG, they do claim the Gower Memorial Shield, finishing on top of the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League for the first time in their history. It was a big weekend for the Inferno. They faced a lot of shots against the Adelaide Rush, but they were able to take their chances when they needed to. And we'll get into their defense a little bit later on, but Sasha King in goal was once again outstanding, and their defense just held up and did enough to keep the Rush from the outside and away from those high danger chances for a lot of the games.
Yeah, no, they did quite well, and we've talked to the coaches all throughout the season before our games for commentary, just as part of our preparation, and I know we've spoken to Graham Hyde a couple of times when he's had the opportunity to get that first spot, and it's been important to him. Like psychologically, he thought it would be really good to get first place. And there were 2, maybe 3 times during the season where they had the chance to do that on the Sunday and just let it slip, or it didn't quite turn out. But how about that? The very first weekend in your history that you end up at the top of the table at the end of A-Dub action, and it's to win the minor premiership. Like that's timing.
And I know that he was quite pleased with it. I was talking to Graham Hyde following the Sunday result. He was quite pleased with it, but he does know there's a lot still ahead. So they've definitely got their eye on the gold at the end of it all. I'm not sure if Graham's in the live stream now. You might actually comment while we're talking about this, but one of the things that really stood out for me for the Perth Inferno across the weekend was that third line. And we spoke about it on the coverage a fair bit of Lily McClellan, Acker, Navatsas across that third line. I think it was a Sunday game when we were calling it, it looked like that they were getting rewarded for a lot of their hard work. They seemed to be out on the ice a fair bit every other shift. I thought they were really important, especially with the Adelaide Rush, who were just shooting at King and driving the offense for most of the game across the weekend. That line of McClellan, Acker, and Navatsas was really important to keep the puck in the offensive zone and just keep working hard.
Yeah, definitely breaking up the cycle, which against the Adelaide Rush is pretty hard to do. And Adelaide, has spent a lot of time in the offensive zone. So it was, they worked really hard. Took the puck up ice, got an offensive zone face off for the other lines. So it was quite an impressive effort. We do have some comments in the chat. It's been so thrilling to watch all these amazing scorers in action throughout the season, and the commentary calls just add so much to the live streams. Thanks, Danielle. Thanks very much. She was on the YouTube chat while at the rink. So shout out to Danielle King for multitasking on the weekend. Graham Hyde confirms he is online. So just be careful what you say in that context. And Danielle King, Adelaide was so impressive all weekend. The game was super exciting to watch. Yeah, they were. We talked about it, Doogie and I, before, didn't we? Like, we were really looking forward to this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that we do have. I'm glad that we do. We got a comment there from Graham there. We switched up our lines and it helped us to run 3 lines. I did think that. I thought that line was really important. You had the line of Clark Crumpton, Salmons, and Scala as well that were just putting up the points. But I thought that line of McClellan, Acker, and Navatsas was really, really important. I'm glad that we've got Graham in the chat too, GG, before we move on to our next topic from the Inferno on the weekend. Because there was the pre-game, what did you call it? The pre-game, the fit check.
Pre-game fits, the fit check. Yeah.
Yes, and I did mention to Graham that I'd be chucking this up in the weekly wrapper, and he actually expected it to go up as well. So Graham and his brother Tony, the final weekend, he said he had to because it was the final weekend. It was at home, so they did the fit check, and there was a few photos of him coming in. And Gordon, you and I, we were absolutely rapt to see Graham and Tony rocking the full kilt setup heading into the rink. I thought it was awesome, looked awesome, and someone who's proud of their Scottish roots. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, all kilted out. Would you say, Diggy?
Yeah, well, we don't know if they've gone full Scottish or not. I don't know if we want to ask that question, GG, with the kilt. But it was awesome to see him rolling in like that.
And how good as well. We haven't mentioned it, but the jersey auction. So they raised a ton of money for Blue Tree Project. I know because I was just getting outbid left, right, and center. So, but we do have some appreciation from Danielle King on the fashion. So impressive from both hard coaches. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I think more of that sort of stuff, GG, would be really cool with players and coaches rolling in more of that stuff across social media. I think the players like it as well.
Yeah, and just a shout out to the social media teams. They've done, all the teams, but the finals teams. Let's focus on them. Have done a sensational job with content this year. And Adelaide did the same thing. They took some photos of players wearing their different outfits. Tash Ferrier took a video of her kids at the airport in Adelaide Rush jerseys, reading from books as if they were reading out the game day lineup. So like this content it's so good. It's so good.
It really is.
Alita Jackwitz with a very pragmatic question. or comment, I don't want to think about how cold full Scottish would have been in the rink.
Yeah, I think we might leave that one alone. This is supposed to be our serious program, as you say, GG.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the next one, and it was a massive weekend for Biz Scala, and has already popped up numerous times in our 3 stars that we put up the post. People chucking in the comment. 7 points across the weekend, 5 goals, 2 assists. Was absolutely everywhere and came up big when the Perth Inferno needed her to come up big. And we've got the footage here of one of the goals, bit of a dangle, look a bit of a toe drag, and then the finish. It was called beautifully by you, GG. We'll chuck it up, but Scala was unreal.
Win and 5 regulation losses. And here's an opportunity again for Scala, dangling and puts it past Knott to double the lead.
I'm not sure about you, but that's got to be in contention as a late goal of the season contender. It was a really, really good goal.
Man, we are going to be clipping so many goals, aren't we? But it was great, quick hands, and to put it, far side on Amelia Knott, very impressive. Biz Scala is just class. Like, she was top of the points last season. Top goal scorer. Tied with Sarah Edney this season. Like, yeah, what a player! And that line, Michelle Clark-Crumpton. Congrats to her for being top of the points. Her and Sarah Salmons and Scala, man, it's a good line. It's an exciting line to watch. Just some housekeeping had to be done, boys, from Graham. The question is, do they make the appearance at finals? And Erica, they were planning it for ages. Thanks for the inside info, Erica. And Nikki Cameron, thanks for the Perth Inferno love. I think if I recall correctly, Nikki Cameron, she it was just this season she went to her first ever AWIHL game and loved it. I think if my memory serves, it's the same one. So good on you, Nikki. Thank you for hanging around and thanks for your support.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been a great season.
I think if they get to the gold medal game, I think they've got to whip out the kilts again. They have to.
Yeah.
The next one, GG. We're talking about Scala. Just before we move on from Scala, I know there was a comment there from Danielle King. Yeah, that one there, GG, about the scorers. I had a thought when I was watching Scala on the weekend, like how good is it to see you've got someone like Scala and Sarah Edney that are just pure goal scorers. Like they're just born to score. They're just pure goal scorers. Like when you think about like the NHL and stuff, you think about Austin Matthews is a pure goal scorer. And when you think about Scala and players like Scala and Edney, that's what I think of. Like just a pure goal scorer, just knows how to find the back of the net.
Yeah, absolutely. Like just I think there's players that, especially when they're in tight, like we saw on that Scala goal, that don't just shoot it immediately on site, but the game slows down for them, it seems, and they're able to not be rushed, and just make space, wait that extra little second. It's a real gift, and yeah, it's been special to watch.
We spoke about it. We touched on it just a little bit before. The Perth defense. I'm trying to think of how many shots they faced on the weekend. Well, King faced them, but the Perth were there in front of King trying to block him. There was 45. I think it was 45 shots on the Saturday, and there was a lot on the Sunday again. But I thought that the Perth defense was really, really good. I messaged Graham Hyde on Sunday when we were talking just through messages. And I just said, Zoe Webb's a star in the making, in my opinion. That and paired up on the weekend with Georgia McCullen. And I thought Larpin and Magnuson were really good as well. But their 3 defensive pairings were really good and just did a really solid job of just trying to limit the Adelaide Rush from getting to those high danger spots. But every time I watch the Inferno and I watch Zoe Webb play, it's just the patience and the calmness on the puck. And even when she doesn't have the puck, just the ability to get back And I said to Graham, a great skater, and probably one thing that people maybe don't notice is how good of a skater Zoe Webb is to get back into position and cut off those passes or those corners. And I know that you called it too on the commentary, GG, a few times where the Adelaide Rush player had the puck and Zoe Webb come in and just tangled up the player and then took the puck away and then they sort of cleared it. But I thought their defense was really, really good considering how many shots they were facing.
Yeah, and Graham did mention, because I brought up Zoe Webb as well, and just the fact that she's a player that looks to have gotten a lot more confident as the season's gone on, and he mentioned that being paired with Georgia McClellan, how good has Georgia McClellan been this season? Like that's been a real help for her, and you see Abby Webb even with Sasha Irvine, they were a great pairing, and you mentioned Magnuson, the little stick checks that she did, and Larpent was fighting and pinning players against the boards. Like it's a good group. It's a good group. Can do a lot of different things.
And the team that they obviously did play on the weekend was the Adelaide Rush, who, despite not coming away with any points from the weekend, they played really, really good hockey. And I think before this season, they finished bottom for the last 5 A-Dub seasons and have just turned it around this season. And even though they didn't win any games across the weekend, geez, their forecheck and their just aggressiveness and their hunger for the puck was just unreal. That Saturday game, even though they lost, they were driving the offense and just controlling everything for the most part. There was sections there where the Inferno got a hold of the game and were able to play their game, and they took their chances to win the game. But even though the Adelaide Rush lost, they were impressive.
Yeah, I mean, Adelaide, I think even, you watch that weekend, and as an Adelaide fan, you've got to be feeling pretty good. Like you took it to Perth. Perth were, got the 2 wins, but we chatted to head coach Joey McDougall, prior to the games, and he mentioned the priority was really to get out of there healthy and to run 3 lines and to mix things up a bit, just to give you kind of an idea of different options when it comes to finals. And so we did see that. We saw Tash Ferrier and Regan Petrowski. They were kind of paired together, but then the winger would change. So sometimes it was Caitlin Malthaner, who, congratulations to her, January's Skaters Network and Bauer Player of the Month. So sometimes with Malthaner, and then sometimes I'd switch it to Moroniuk, and that paid off. That line scored a goal pretty early in the second period, I want to say, or third period of Saturday's game, I'm pretty sure, to make it 2-1. No, to make it 2-2, because Nat Ayres scored with like 1 second left in the second period. But yeah, they looked good, and that Kate Tahima, they reunited temporarily, that Kate Tahima, Ayres and Malthaner line, and geez, that line's a good line. It's so Adelaide look good, and the defense is they can do a lot of different things too. I think Adelaide have the best puck carrying defense in the league.
Yeah, they're really strong on the blue line. I was also impressed with Regan Petrowski on the weekend again. Gordon coming to the league, all guns blazing with goals in her first 3 games. Had 2 points across the weekend, a goal and an assist. Felt like she was winning just about every face-off that she went to. But she's got this ability to draw penalties, and it's her skating and stick handling, which are able to draw the penalty. Is just a really good skater, and just little movements with the hips and just changing directions. We've seen a couple of times on the weekend, able to draw the tripping penalty, and had a big chance at the end to draw it level. But King came up with a huge save, and we do have that King save we'll chuck up on the screen. But I thought Regan Petrowski was good again, GG.
Yeah, just an exceptional player. Good hands, a good skating ability, good vision. Like, I think her and Ferrier, with Ferrier returning to the Adelaide Rush lineup now, that team looks so dangerous. They are going to be a handful come finals. Like, honestly. They're gonna do some damage. But yeah, we'll get to that a bit later, or maybe next week. But yeah, a good player.
And before we chuck up that king save, I think we might have a comment in there.
Yeah, Graham Hyde agreeing. Rush are a fast, exciting team. They certainly are, and the way that they come at you on the forecheck is impressive. Like it's almost overwhelming at times. And Graham spoke about it. Needing to tell the players, don't panic. If you can get by that first wave, don't just try to rim the puck around the boards, which is what happened on Saturday, and they were just being hemmed in for swathes of time. But just find that outlet pass, work as a group. But yeah, it's a dangerous team, the Adelaide Rush, this season.
We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Drop a comment in the chats on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you are watching from, and we'll get it up on the screen and have a talk about it. Speaking of King and that save, we'll chuck it up now. I think there was like 11 seconds to go in the game, and Adelaide surged forward, and there was a big chance. But King, once again, just all season coming up with massive saves.
11 seconds left. Maybe one final scoring opportunity for the Adelaide Rush. Here's Regan Petrowski in on goal. What a save by King! A pad save, and that'll do it. The Perth Inferno have survived an absolute Rush onslaught here in the dying minutes of the game.
It was a big save. It was well called, GG. I know you don't like me saying it well when I was talking about your commentary. It was well called, and at the end when we was talking about the game, it was just like, who else was going to like? It was the moment where it's happened all season. 3 shutouts this season. Been just a standout goaltender, superb for the Inferno, and when they needed King the most again, was able to come up with that save.
Yeah, massive. And I think that Sasha King can win you games. So, she's been the form goaltender of the season. She's done so much. But what a moment, what a finish. The Adelaide Rush, if they had have taken that game to overtime, and if they had have won that game, because it's 3-2 at that stage, then you're tied on points, and how does the tiebreaker work out? And but man, Sasha King came up big. Regan Petrowski, what an effort to get into the slot for that opportunity, falling to the ground. Just a movie finish. We do have some comments in the chat. Joe Phyllis, yeah, but Perth know how to hurt you when you open up. Recognizing game again there from Joe. Yeah, they were clinical, weren't they, Perth? And then random from Sergachev 98. Is your favorite player Nathan Walker? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, if he comes on our show, he definitely is.
Yeah.
We will move on, but just one more on the Rush. GG, I know we're flopping around here a bit. They will get Archie Smith and Tori Cebulski, who 2 players I think they dearly missed on the weekend as well. We know how good Archie Smith is between the pipes, and Cebulski's 2-way game I thought they missed on the weekend as well, the Rush.
Yeah.
The other 2 games from the weekend, they were down in Melbourne between the Lightning and the Melbourne Ice. And as we mentioned earlier, the Lightning won 8-4 and then 5-3 on the Sunday. They couldn't move on the standings, the Lightning, but to come away with 2 wins against the Melbourne Ice at Docklands, where the finals will be held. They didn't have Shanita Crompton on the Saturday, got Crompton back on the Sunday, who was influential in the Sunday's game as well. It's going to do a lot for that group, I think, as they look towards finals when they'll come back down to Docklands, just to be able to play like that on that ice and get those 2 wins across the weekend.
Do you want to know what made me really happy, Doogie?
What's that, mate? I always want to know what makes you happy.
So the Brisbane Lightning on social media after the weekend said that they secured the clean sweep from the weekend.
Don't start this thing. Don't start this again.
So, I don't know if Matt Meyer is in the chat. I don't know if that was like a semi-trolling kind of nudge comment at us or not. But respect. That made me laugh quite a bit. But yeah, huge. I think I sent the message some info, onto Todd. I'm not sure if he mentioned it in the game. But Alison Carlisle came off the plane in the morning. We'll get to her a bit later, and had such an impact over the weekend.
Not a sweep from Matt Meyer. Head coach Matt Meyer's in the chat. Not a sweep.
But yeah, it was a gutsy performance. It was an absolute gutsy performance, and to come from behind in both games. And the third period, you and I have chatted. They outscored the Melbourne Ice 7-0 in the third period. So finishing with a wet sail in those games, the Brisbane Lightning. Just some comments in the chat. Phil Taylor, who said Lightning never strikes in the same place twice. Amazing come from behind wins for Brisbane from Danielle King. Absolutely. Vanessa Gray was a serious effort from our Lightning gals. And then Danielle King, yes, she was thinking about clean sweeps all weekend too. We've got a lot of love. This is generating content, Diggy. And Jamie Coonan, yeah, that's what you call a clean sweep. And Vanessa Gray, they're trying to work out logistics for the sign. So good luck with that. We'd love to see that at finals. We'd love to get a photo with you and the sign at finals. We'll see if we can get Nita to join us for that one. But yeah,
absolutely. One of the players that we've spoken about numerous times on this show, and it was the captain of the Lightning, Badgley, came up big again. Christina Badgley on the weekend. 3 points on the Saturday, especially, and 2 goals, GG. Just really important goals for the Lightning on that Saturday, because you want to get that first win on a road trip. But, geez, Badgley's been absolutely unreal this season.
Yeah, like consistent hard worker, right? Like just works every shift and may not be on the score sheet, as you say, like may not get that reward, but geez, is noticeable each game.
And you did mention it as well, the return of Alison Carlisle. Fresh off a wedding, so congratulations to Alison on the wedding. It's amazing. Fresh off the plane, steps out to the first games for I don't know how long the last game was between the weekend and before. 4 points, 3 goals, 1 assist for Alison Carlisle. I've grabbed the goal from the weekend, and I really like this goal. I think it was a really, really nice finish, and just shows the quality of Carlisle and what the Lightning had been missing while she was out.
Here's Clinic. Now it's a 3-on-1. This is going to be interesting. Clinic lays it off to Carlisle. Carlisle puts it in. Brisbane get the lead with 36 seconds. What a great pass to find Carlisle, and an amazing shot. Brisbane with the lead 4-3.
And big. Do you notice who goes to the net to create the screen on that goal?
It was a Badgley.
It was Badgley.
Yeah, there you go. See, just putting that screen up, getting into those dirty areas. That's just leadership, isn't it, from Badgley? But that goal from Carlisle, a massive, massive goal in that third period with time winding down. A really good finish, and just shows the quality that Alison Carlisle brings to the Lightning.
Yeah, I think because I talked with Matt Meyer a while ago about her, and she's a forward, so she's usually plays as a forward, but she's playing defense for the Lightning, and has done a heck of a job. Gives them some offensive grit on the blue line. usually the net front presence on the power play. So yeah, it's been great for the Lightning. A fun player to watch.
And they're a confidence group, the Lightning. Before we move on to the next topic, GG, what do you think that these 2 wins will do for them? Because we know when we've spoken to Matt Meyer and you speak to Shanita Crompton and players like that, they are confident within the Lightning that they have got a championship contending team. What do you think those 2 wins are going to do to that group as they head towards finals?
Well, how am I supposed to comment when the team's watching? Like, I'm just gonna go, oh, this guy's full of crap. That's not what we're. But like, just pragmatically, you've got to be feeling, you've got to be feeling good about yourself. You've clean swept a weekend away in Melbourne. So and we mentioned, Brisbane would have a big role in shaping the top of the standings, and they have. So that game on Saturday, 2:00 at O'Brien, March the 9th, between Brisbane and Perth, we called, I think, all of the games between Brisbane and Perth this season, or most of them, and they got pretty spicy, and they were good contests. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, fingers crossed we might be calling that one in the finals when it rolls around. GG. The team that they obviously did beat on the weekend at Docklands was the Melbourne Ice, and we've got up on the screen, Ice still recovering. From what we were hearing across the weekend, GG, there was some players missing from that Ice roster, and what we've heard is that they are still recovering from that incident in Adelaide, that unfortunate incident at the Adelaide Ice Arena. Fingers crossed that Melbourne Ice, with the extra week, that they don't have that sort of issue when it comes finals time, that they have a healthy roster that they can select from.
Yeah, so I mean, we obviously don't know any of the details. We haven't, like, that's players' personal health matters are private. But we have, like, carbon monoxide poisoning is pretty serious, and it can take you like months to recover in some instances. So perhaps they were affected in some way. So we just hope that they recover in time for finals, because that would be a real shame. They were pre-season favorites. So hopefully we see like them at full strength at finals. I think everyone would like to see that.
Yep, absolutely. Despite missing some players and losing two of the games on the weekend with the clean sweep, GG, there was a highlight goal that I picked out from Danielle Butler. I thought was a really good goal, who finishes the regular season with 14 goals after a bit of a slow start, 26 points, sort of really come home. It was a great goal and a great finish.
To find Watts, stolen away. Here comes Butler. Butler stalking the net. Butler firing, and it's a goal. Danielle Butler does it again. Opens the scoring account for Melbourne Ice here on the Sunday.
It's what we've come to expect from Danielle Butler, just picking the puck up on the blue line, just dangling with the hands, and then just a nice finish over the shoulder, just a nice wrister with a lot of power.
Yeah, she's another one of those pure goal scorers in the league, I think. Can do it in a variety of ways. Has gone Bardowski's, she went bar down, I think, on the Saturday, but has done that throughout the season. So yeah, it was a great goal. It was a great goal.
So the Ice, they finished third. As we mentioned at the start, they will face the Adelaide Rush in the finals. Before we move on to the next thing I'm going to bring up, GG, is there any comments or anything we need to throw up on the screen at all?
Just Jamie Goonan, she is ready for Perth. So bring it on.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Still two weekends away. Hey, they'll be really fired up by the time the finals rolls around.
Oh, mate, I'm fired up. Like, this is it's been a sensational season. We'll get to that, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
As we said, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Drop a comment in the chat if you've got anything to say from the weekend's action. Before we move on to our last topic, because GG is feeling under the weather, we're going to bring it up again, GG, and you can just let the listeners know what is happening with our goal of the season, as you just really don't want to, but I'm going to make you anyway. Goal of the season is sponsored by the Good Enough family.
Yeah, so Katie has kindly donated or offered to donate $250 to the winner of the goal of the season, the fan vote. So that'll be vouchers to the hockey outlet of the winner's choice. So that's really cool. So thank you, Katie. Thank you for your support for everything that I do for the league and the sport, putting up with my commentating and me doing these shows. So yeah, Katie's in here. I was just making aggressive eye contact with her. Thanks, Phil. Phil Taylor says, awesome, Katie. Phil Taylor's also got a great shot of the Butler goal. Maybe that's goal of the season. Lily Roberts in the blue line in Adelaide from John D. Yeah, Lily Roberts. That goal, and also the assist that she had in the game against Brisbane at Macquarie. The stretch pass to Stephanie Newmark, I think. Maybe Lily Roberts gets goal of the season and assist of the season. Who knows? But we'll find out.
Yeah, you never know. We are Hockey Up Australia. You can find us at hockeyupaustralia.com.au. GG's just put out a really, really good article about the Hockey Roos and the Sydney Sirens and the connection there, going back to the Sirens getting their first win of the season between the two coaches, which is really cool. So check that out. Anything else in the comments, GG?
Yes, we do have Jules Sugden. Thanks for tuning in about the Lightning to. Oh, here we are. It was a cut-off comment. Lightning to come in strong for the finals. Absolutely, Jules. Like, the Lightning look good, and we've talked about like the group, the defensive group. I think is like physically the strongest in the league for the Lightning. And you've got players like Wuthridge and Kalinick and Mahoney and Watts and Crompton and Badgley and oh man, it's a good lineup. As some other comments, Venus and her end-to-end goal. Which one, Christian? Because there were multiple. So we're gonna put that up. And John D with some love for Lily Roberts, wall-to-wall potential for Lily Roberts. So no, thank you for all the suggestions in the comments. We will get to clipping. We will get to clipping.
Our last topic for tonight, because GG's under the weather. He's been battling all weekend with his illness through commentary and tonight as well.
What about Bernie, the Lithuanian women's coach, rocking up randomly? I don't know this story. Joe. You can't. You've got to provide some context. But that sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's the first I've heard of it.
And John D, I love that this season, literally any one of the four teams could credibly take the Joan McCowan Memorial Trophy home. Joe Phillips gave us a Rock'em Sock'em DVD from 1996. Oh my God. I don't need any more context. That story is beautiful in my mind as it is, but I would actually love context later. With her breakaway goal, was that her breakaway goal when she left the box short-handed after the 5-on-3? And then is that the one you're talking about, Lindsay? I think was that one against Melbourne, against the Melbourne Ice at in Brisbane. Or is there another breakaway goal? I know she had one where she came out of the box and put one home. I think right at the end of the third period of the Saturday game. Anyway, and Phil Taylor, Joe. Sorry.
It's a great story from Joe. Really, really good. Our last topic for for tonight, GG, before we let you go, mate, and get some rest, we did put up a post on our socials after the Sunday game. Beautiful photos of you and I sitting there at the computer screen with our microphones, getting ready to commentate. Just a big thank you post to everyone involved at Sportscast Australia, the ADub fans, the clubs, the players. I've had a blast, GG, not only doing Hockey Hype Australia and covering the ADub and doing these shows, but doing commentary alongside you. I've never, ever done commentary in any form at all before this season. Been obviously a hockey fan for a long time. Stepping into it, it was scary. I didn't know if I'd do a good job. But I think we've grown into it as the season went on. And one of the big things is we get a lot of feedback from people, some not so good, but majority of it is pretty positive of what we've been able to do with our commentary across the season. And we really appreciate it. And I think a lot of people have appreciated our commentary, but I've had the most fun since I've been involved in this sport, which is back in 2010-11. I got involved with hockey here, and it's the most fun I've had doing the commentary and covering the ADub. I've had a blast and just interacting with the players and all that sort of stuff. And I think you mentioned it before, how we speak to the coaches before the games, GG. They give up their time on a Friday afternoon just to jump on the phone, and we'll do a conference call just so we can get a bit of information, because I think it's important that you do the sport and the team's justice in that regard, where you're not just rocking up to a game and just having a guess and just commentating what's happening. We're actually getting a bit of a background information on who's in, who's out, what's happening with the lines and things like that, so we can give the viewers and the listeners the best experience that they can get at commentating. And we just want to say thank you to everyone involved in the ADub, and I just want to say thank you to you as well, GG, for the season and commentating. It's been absolutely unreal.
It's been a blast, and to do it with you, mate, it's been pretty special. It's been so much fun. It's been like a highlight of the week, honestly. And we put in a lot of prep time in going over stuff and trying to find info, and just so that we can give kind of a neutral view of the game rather than just load up on one team. Maybe that doesn't work, but we try. I've been so grateful for people who have given me little insights or told me that I'm pronouncing a player's name wrong, or that I've mentioned a player's name incorrectly or whatever. I've mixed someone up. And I really appreciate that, because like I know we've spoken about it, Doogie, like the sport deserves like the best that people can give it. So I've just been privileged to have a part in that. So thank you. I don't know what's going to happen in Melbourne at finals, if we're going to be doing commentary or not. But it's been such a fantastic season. We'll still be around. We'll just be you and I will just be staring at Todd from the other side of the window. But no, and Todd does does a great job too down in Melbourne. So it's absolutely it's been I think the best experience that I've had in hockey by far. So yeah, it's been good. And we've got some love from JD. Love your work, Jen. So good to see and hear two guys who love and respect the sport and the league so much. I love that you guys do so much prep, know what's going on. Well, we try to. Guys are just amazing. Definitely grown your own fan base because of your hard work. That's very nice, Danielle. Vanessa Gray, good commentary comes naturally when you know what makes the fans tick. Well done on excellent content this season, guys. Oh, that's lovely. Thanks from a long retired motorsport caller. Thank you, Vanessa. Truly gracious gesture and a professional. You guys better be. If you can bribe Sportscast with a 1996 copies of Rock'em Sock'em DVD, that would be great. Yeah. Daniel King, I hope you're feeling better, GG. Can't believe your effort all weekend and then again today, despite feeling so sick. Yeah, no, it's been good. Western medicine, how good is it? Like codeine and amoxicillin, so much fun. And Phil Taylor, it's been a blast. See you when you hit town. A beer still on Doogie? Absolutely. they are on duty. So no, thank you very much, and thanks for tuning in and listening to us talk about stuff that we that we might be wrong about, but we'll try.
Yeah, the other side of it too is it's not just the people here. Like I've loved the YouTube chat on the game day from either Mark McKenzie or Douglas Acker, they're tuning in from like Cam Loops in Canada at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I know they've got connections with family and things like that here, but to being able to bring the coverage to them and play a role in them getting to see family members, etc., play hockey, it's really cool. It's just a privilege, isn't it?
And just a Dan Crumpton shout out. When I ran my website, Hockey Embassy, back in like 2018, whatever, like he was someone who reached out on multiple times. It was like, thank you for what you're doing and blah blah blah. And he's reached out to us too, like about the commentary and about the coverage. So big shout out to Dan Crumpton, like such a lovely guy. Christian Knott. You guys will be signing autographs in Melbourne.
That's GG.
Yeah, no, we'll be there. We do actually. We're hopefully. We don't want to make it official because we're not exactly sure what we're doing, but we are thinking of having a special guest with us, roving around as a roving reporter, Doogie. So we'll have some.
Yes.
We'll have some more info next week, but we'd love if you see us wandering around, three people that look pretty anxious and not knowing what they're doing, it's probably us. But come say hi. We can have a chat and do like if you're happy to be on a brief interview, we can have a brief chat. Selfie booth with the fans.
Yeah, we do have a roving reporter. Which we will announce, which is really exciting. I think everyone's going to love. So yeah, just a big from Gordon and I, just a big thank you to everyone involved in the A-Dub. Fans, coaches, players, staff, everyone that we've reached out to and all that sort of stuff throughout the season. It's been a privilege to cover it and commentate it. So much fun. I think, GG, we might be done for the night, mate.
Thank goodness.
I know you look like you're about to die over there. We are Hockey Hype Australia. You can find us at hockeyhypeaustralia.com.au. GG, as I said before, has just put out an article with the Hockey Roos and the Sydney Sirens, a collaboration there with the two coaches coming together. Over in Perth. There's a really good piece, so go check that out. We are on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter/X at Hockey Hype AUS. Jamie Coonan, thank you for your amazing work. Yes, thank you as well, Jamie. We really appreciate the comments. We are obviously live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube, like, share, comment, all that sort of stuff. We're doing a lot of work over at the YouTube. So if you don't want to tune into this full 1 hour episode, you can go and check out your favorite team and join the discussion that way. One other thing, GG, before we go, we'll just let people know that because people who follow hockey here, they might, most of them will probably be aware of Kerry Goulet, who coaches the Melbourne Ice men's team in the Australian Ice Hockey League. Gordon and I will be appearing. We're good friends with Kerry, and we'll be appearing on Kerry's Gooch Live on next Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Which is sponsored by the Hockey News over in Canada and also the Bottom Line, I think. So we'll spruik the A-Dub on Gooch Live, which is sponsored by the Hockey News. So I don't know why GG's laughing, but yeah, we'll spruik the A-Dub on that show. So.
We've got a comment from Danielle King. You guys are in for a surreal experience where everyone knows who you are and you don't know who they are. So if any players, if you can please wear your helmets and your jerseys when you're walking around Melbourne, because I won't recognize people without their helmets off. But But yeah, we'll come say hi, please do.
But I think that just about does us for tonight, GG. We'll let you go and get some medicine and whatever else you got to get into, your mate. Go have a sleep. You've been a real trooper. I am Andrew McDougall. That is Gordon Good Enough. Thank you for tuning in for the weekly wraparound after week 13. We will be back next week some stage as we do our previews for the finals, and also the goals of the season, all that sort of stuff will be popping up on our socials. We are hockey.
We are Hockey Hype Australia. Thanks for tuning in. Doogie's losing it. But yeah, thanks, and we'll be back next week for another show at some point in time. And see you later.
Says.